My poor Pontiac has been neglected for about a month now, and I have a load of excuses as to why, but the real reason was that the parts that I needed didn't actually show up until the day before we left for the PRI show. But now we're back in the shop and back to work, no more excuses, and I do have a short list of things that I really need to fix on the car. There are some parts that are broken, some things that are making weird noises, and some other parts that have basically rattled themselves loose. So I guess you could say I've neglected my car a little bit. But today I am going to fix all those things. The biggest issue that I'm facing though is that there is a ticking sound coming from the engine. Sounds worse than it is, but I have a suspicion as to what may be causing that. So fingers crossed I can fix it. But first, I'm just gonna roll the cars out, reorganize the shop a little bit here, and get myself set up. So the first thing I'm going to be fixing is the ticking sound that's coming from the engine. My first guess is that it's the rocker arms. So if you watched my engine building video, you would have seen that I did a trunnion upgrade to the factory rockers. And while I think that design is amazing, I love it, I have read that they can be a little noisy. And with my exhaust being as quiet as it is, you can really hear it when you're driving the car. So, you know, in drive-thrus or when you're kind of cruising up against a wall, the echoing, the vibrations, you really hear it. And the way I could describe it is kind of like an exhaust leak or like a sewing machine. It's just this constant like ticking. So what I did was I went on to Summit Racing and I bought these GM factory rocker arms that have the needle bearing design. So while that is a little scary, I mean, ooh, I like hate that sound. I'm really willing to give it a shot at this point just to eliminate that sound. The good news is my engine is super mild. This thing, the cam is like really low lift. It's like under 600 lift. So I don't think it's gonna hurt itself. So we're gonna try installing these ones and just see how it goes. I really have my fingers crossed because it's quite annoying. But what I'll do is, let me try and fire it up for you guys and see if it picks up on camera. If not, you'll just have to trust me on this one. Okay, valve cover is off. I'm really happy with this Velcro gasket, or I think that's what it is. Now I can't remember, but someone on YouTube recommended this gasket for the valve covers, and it looks like it's held up really good. It's not expanding, so that's awesome. Whoever recommended it, thank you. Here's just a quick look at the valve train. Everything seems good. It's got oil up here. Yeah, it's too bad. I kind of don't want to take these off, but I really do like the trunnion design, but I want to test this. If it doesn't work, I'm going to put these right back on because this is just a way better, safer design. But hey, if it fixes the noise, then I'm running the needle style. I should probably put these somewhere. That would have been the smarter thing to do. Okay, here are the old rockers with the new ones. Like I said, it seems kind of silly that I'm switching from these trunnion ones to the needle bearing style. Oh, that sounds awful. But we're experimenting here. We're gonna just see if this helps. Grease Lightning and Slayer outside, they both run the factory style rocker with needle bearings, and they don't make nearly as much noise as my Pontiac does. So we're gonna give this a shot, and like I said, if this doesn't work, I'm putting these ones right back on. Okay, other valve cover is off and looks just as good.
What are you doing?
Stop! Seriously?
Oh, are you recording? Oh, sorry guys.
What the hell was the point of that?
Daddy's back.
Oh my.
What happened?
No way. Hang on.
What?
Am I crazy?
Yeah.
1,
What?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What?
Did Summit forget one of them?
You sure you didn't place one somewhere else over here?
Did I? Or did you take one?
I wouldn't do that. That's mean.
I'm serious. Where is it? Okay, well that was super, super frustrating. Nothing worse than when you're in the middle of swapping rockers and then there's only 15 of them, which my bad. I should not have trusted Summit. I should have counted them before I even got started, but anyway, I had to send Danny over to the machine shop, so thank you to Joe and Sal at West Coast Engine and Cylinder Head for saving the day, and they had another like needle bearing style rocker. All of this just for a test, so I'm gonna keep working on the passenger side, and then we'll see in just a bit if this worked. And because this is YouTube, I just thought I'd quickly mention I have all the rocker arms torqued down now, and I know there's going to be some people saying, well, that's not the proper way to do it. You didn't rotate the motor over. The thing is, I have these really, really light valve springs, and I just don't think this LS is going to hurt itself. It's just too mild. So I'm gonna button everything up. We're gonna give it a test right now, and then I'm gonna move on to fixing all the other things that need to be fixed with the Pontiac. Okay, the engine is buttoned up, and now I'm going to fire it up. And again, I don't know if this is gonna pick up for you guys as much, you know, as it will for me, but we're just taking you along. Okay, wow, I let this thing warm up a little and it sounds so much quieter from in here. I don't hear that little sewing machine sound, but I'm gonna go drive it around and really test it, drive it like next to a wall and see if the, you know, echoing vibration picks up. But so far, so good. What a difference. Loudest part is definitely the transmission, but it is what it is. But now I can actually hear myself think. Alright, so that is one thing off the list, and now I'm moving on to the job I've been dreading for about a month and a half now, which is this. So around that time, the turn signal switch decided it didn't want to work anymore, or rather it doesn't want to hold left, so it'll just stop working. Right, it's fine, but it's just been really annoying, like daily driving this thing, and every time you're trying to make a left you just gotta hold your finger here. So I'm gonna replace it. Another thing that's been super irritating for Danny whenever he drives this thing is the horn button. It just makes this sound, and it's not really in there. In fact, I think at one point we RTV'd it as a quick thing before the drag and drive, so it's just a little janky and it could be more refined. So I'm gonna start taking this thing apart little bit by bit, and I'll see what I can film. Not the best thing to film underneath the dash, but we'll give it a go. Okay, horn button is off. When I go to put this on later, I'm gonna try and like expand these arms a little more so they hold this thing in place. You guys know what I mean. So I'm gonna try that later. And if you guys have ever taken apart your column before, you know it's not difficult. It's just really, really annoying. It's a lot of Phillips head screws and just stuff that needs to be put together in a particular order. And if you mess it up, then you gotta do it again. So I'm gonna try and do this once. Okay, so I removed most of the screws from the steering wheel so far, and now I need to use the remover kit. So I'm going to get this set up. Just like that. Steering wheel. Okay, so it looks like I was right and the plastic piece is broken. What a piece of junk. If you look here, that piece catches on. It's so hard to show you guys. Catches on to the one behind it. So it hooks in, you can kind of see. But the one down here, you can see a bit of the plastic has basically come apart. So when you try and hook it, there's nothing for it to hook onto. So that sucks big time. I'm gonna see if there's any way for me to just replace this piece here. Otherwise, the whole thing is gonna be coming out. Okay, well, I haven't been filming much because this is definitely like a three-handed job. So I've just took apart like the whole column and everything. This thing is total junk. Actually, I'm gonna take that bulb off of here and put it onto the new one. But other than that, I'm gonna get this new one in place and just try and remember how everything went back on. Oh my gosh, this sucks. I'm like all cut up. This is just like the worst job, but you know what? We're gonna get it done. I'm gonna just throw it into a time lapse because this is super boring, and like I said, it's just really hard to show you guys what I'm doing here. So what feels like 5 hours later, we're back to this point. And of course, you know, for $100, they couldn't even give you threads here for the actual rod for the turn signals. So that's gonna have to be tapped. Amazing. So it's just adding more time to the job. Okay, so I'm gonna have to tap that out, and I'm using this little tool right here. Just hopefully I don't mess it up, because this is it. It's a done deal after this. Okay, it's the next day, and I was up late last night working on that stupid steering column. I got so frustrated because just when I put everything back together and I thought I hooked everything up correctly, a bunch of issues started popping up. So I had to call in the pro. Danny is on the case.
All right, a couple issues we were having. One of them is that this bulb here that's supposed to light up this parking indicator deal here was white and when you turn on the headlights, as you can see, everything is blue. We have it set to blue, and that's what she wants. So this needs to be blue, but it was also not making a good connection somehow because the light was turning on and off. So we got to figure out if there's a ground issue or something going on here, or a power issue. So we'll get to the bottom of that. Also, when she would turn left, it would not cancel. The turn signal will not cancel, but right it would. So there must be some sort of clearance issue, I'm guessing, there. And any other issues? Oh, the hazards?
The hazards.
The hazards were not hazarding. They were just like staying on. The lights were staying on the dash and not blinking. But the turn signals were, which is kind of weird because it's kind of the same circuit. So we're going to get to the bottom of this light bulb first, and then see if we can change the color of this bulb somehow to match the gauges, and just get the steering column done right. But
yeah,
steering columns can be a huge pain in the butt, and you know, I know you were having troubles with it yesterday a lot.
big troubles. I've never been so frustrated doing a job because I had done this before and I don't remember it like taking that long, and then for it to take the whole day, I was like, wow, I didn't get anything done.
The steering columns are not easy to work on, though. I'll say that. I hate working on that. I don't think anybody likes working on steering columns. Yeah, they're not fun, but they got to get done. So, okay, we got a battery here. I put a battery here so that way I can test this bulb without having to like use the car for voltage. It'll just make it easier for diagnosing. So I got the ground, or actually the positive is going to be here. So I have that white wire comes all the way up and goes into the back of the bulb there. So that's the positive. So that white wire there is connected to my green alligator clip, which is here. So we'll go to positive there. So now we got the negative. We'll hook up here. And then let me see that negative. That's red. Red negative. Now technically this light should glow right now. Nice. Oh, okay. So that's good. But you see the problem there? As you see, that color looks really yellow, and the gauges, they're blue. So we still have to figure out why they're flickering. So this thing gets a ground from this little plate here on the inside, and I have the feeling that plate was not making contact with the steering column on the inside and grounding. So that little plate right there that you could see, that's the ground. So I bent this plate out a little bit more and also cleaned the surface of where it contacts on the steering column. Maybe that'll give it the ground that it needs. Also, I took this bulb out and cleaned the connections on the inside. You know, hopefully when we put it back together, it stays on, because sometimes, you know, you test these things out here, you put them all on, you put your steering wheel on, and then it doesn't work. So we're going about it, I think, the right way here. We're going to put it back together with a little sock that I have for this thing. Where's the sock? Bringing forth the sock.
The sock?
The bulb condom. Where's the bulb condom?
Is it in your pocket?
Oh, it's right here.
Oh.
Right here.
It does look like one.
It's a little bulb condom right here. Keep your bulbs safe. Here, can you film? So this goes on. Hold on. I'm going to remove the bulb.
Okay.
There you go. Practice safe lighting.
Oh my gosh. That's so cute though.
Little mini mag.
I can't believe you just had one of those.
I took it apart. I took it out of a box from an autometer gauge set that I have.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Stop.
what are the chances you had that same little size?
So, and then this goes over this. So I put the bulb sock on there, and we're gonna test it one more time. Oh, see? Oh, but look, see what it did?
Whoa.
It's working, but I don't know if there's still a bad connection there. It's hard to tell until you actually get it in the car and put the steering wheel on.
Yeah.
And
When you
it's annoying.
commit.
Yeah. So that looks good. Do you like that color?
Yeah.
Is that good?
I mean,
Hold on. Well, we'll put it in there and then we'll test it again.
Okay.
And this has got to get lined up perfectly.
Yeah, that was killing me yesterday, just trying to get everything lined up.
This part?
Yeah, because it has to go through like 4 different pieces.
Piece of junk. Okay, so the last canceling cam broke right here. We did lube it, so I don't know why it broke, but we're gonna lube this one extra good this time before we put it back together. Because I don't want to do this again, do you?
No. No. I'm good.
So I'm gonna put some of this grease in those bearings, the steering bearings, while we're here as well. Maybe it'll make it a little easier to steer, make those bearings last a little longer. I'm gonna carefully try to stuff some of this in there with this small little screwdriver. Oh, I'm making a mess, but I'll clean it up. Okay, we got the bearings packed. We got dielectric grease on the canceling cams. We're gonna test that bulb one more time when it's in there because, trust me, red positive, green negative.
Yeah.
Ready?
There we go.
Is it working?
Yeah. Oh, it's because you have the flashlight on above.
Oh, there we go. Okay, let's try it again. Ready? There it is. Cool. That's a lot closer to the color of the gauge.
Yeah, way better. Done.
Okay, now we're gonna test the hazards. There they go.
Yep.
And somehow they're working now, but they weren't working yesterday.
Yeah, they're both flashing.
So, not too sure about that, but I don't think it's anything that has to do with inside of here, so I think we're good. We can button this all up. If there's an issue, I think it's going to be outside of the column. So, before I put the steering wheel on, I'm going to show you quickly how this works. Those 2 little speed bumps there. When you're turning the steering wheel, they're obviously spinning around here, and when you turn your blinker on, this piece came down, you saw that? So when you turn right, you turn the wheel this way, and then when you turn left, it's going to go back this way, and it's going to hit this piece here and knock the blinker back to the center. So if you go on left turn, you turn the wheel left, this tab here, it's fine if it hits the tab this way because it just springs downward like that. So it's just turn left. But then when you turn back straight and that speed bump comes back this way, it pushes here and cancels it. So when these things break off, that's why your blinker doesn't work.
Yeah, which sucks.
So why was it doing it one way and not the other? I'm not too sure. But I have the feeling one of these was recessed or tightened down a little farther here, and maybe the actual steering wheel needed to be torqued a little tighter to get it to pull closer down that way. So we took the wheel off straight, so just need to make sure we put it back on straight. Well, as expected, we put everything together and there's no light. It's got power and ground and there's just no light, so we gotta pull it back apart again.
Oh my gosh.
Figure out why it's losing ground or power when it's when the steering wheel's on.
Oh, again.
Okay, so we have a known good power source going straight up into the bulb, to the back of the bulb. And then, so I'm like, well, maybe it's not getting a good ground. So I was able to reach in here with this pick, and I got a good ground from the car that's going to the pick. And so I'm grounding the outside of the bulb, and it's still not lighting up. So the bulb housing, there's no disconnection somewhere in the bulb, like where the bulb sits in the housing in there. So we're just gonna have to take it apart and play with it and get it to where it's connecting properly. These old bulb housings, sometimes they're just, the technology wasn't there, they're just kind of made like really poorly. It is what it is, but sometimes you got to crimp them down, tighten them up, and curse at them, and then they'll eventually work. Okay, we got the light to work. I ended up just like moving around with a pick through the gap here, and was able to move around the housing where the bulb is at, and then it turned on. So hopefully it just stays on. If not, we'll know exactly how to
fix it.
rattle it back into working order. But for now, we're gonna call it good. We gave it the old shake test. It's not turning off, so we'll have to drive it. But I feel comfortable now putting this all back together now that everything's working.
Yeah.
We're gonna get out on the road and test out the turn signal canceling cam.
Yeah. You gotta put the horn button on after to make sure it's not like rattling, because that was a huge annoyance before.
Oh yeah, this thing right here, I was about to throw this out the window a few times on our road trip because it just kept rattling around. It gets annoying after a while. Pretty cool looking though, huh? Maybe we could just spread these things apart a little bit more.
Yeah.
So when it goes in, it stays snug.
Let's do it.
All right, we're going for a little test drive.
It's raining.
A little bit of rain today here in California.
You're watching this.
Oh, test it out. Nope. Okay.
It's the right one. The left one worked before, so I hate forcing it. The left one works.
After much massaging,
Okay.
I think we got the turn signal cam working.
Let's see right now. It worked. Oh my gosh,
Do it again.
Making my little turn and
There it goes. All right, go up here and do a left test. Nice. Okay. All right, that took a while, but we got all the issues addressed. The canceling cam cancels, the hazards are hazarding, and this light is actually lighting. So the last thing we're gonna do is match that light to these ones, the color, because it's a little bit different. That's more like a what, yellowish green?
yellowy green, yeah.
So we have the app opened up right here, and you can actually change the colors behind on the dash just by moving this up or down.
These are the Dakota Digital RTX gauges.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Whoa.
So that's like a greenish color, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that actually kind of matches.
Yeah.
What is that? That's called shift. What color do you want the needles? We could change the needle color too. Look, right here. This is the needles. We could change them to like blue. How about denim jacket? Or how about turquoise, green flag?
I kind of like red because it stands out so much.
White. Barn find.
What?
Yeah, look, barn find.
You make your digital gauges look like a barn find?
Okay, so we're gonna change this to match. That looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just for the nighttime. So when you turn on your headlights, this will light up so you can see what gear you're in, and then the headlights change to this color, so they'll match. During the daytime, they'll just be white. So like daytime here, if you go to day, it's like day.
You have to save your changes.
So that's what they'll look like in the daytime, just
Yeah.
white.
I like that, the classic look.
Okay. And then at nighttime, we go to night, and that's what they'll look like at night. Pretty cool. Well, you're all set up now. What's next?
Last thing I want to do is adjust the headlights because they're aimed a little low. So I'm gonna bring this thing outside, aim it at the door, and just get them set up a little better, tighten up the exhaust, and then that's it. It's a refined machine again. Moving on to the headlights, I'm gonna start by just removing these trim pieces here. There's only a few Phillips heads holding them in. And then I'm gonna back this thing out, shut the door, and just mark on the garage door where the light is hitting and make my adjustments from there. So these right here are my Holley Retro Brights, and I cannot say enough good things about these. They have been amazing. You got the low beam and high beams, and like I would install these on basically any classic car. In fact, I think I want to get a set for Slayer ASAP because Slayer is daily driven. But yeah, they're amazing. Okay, so that chrome ring didn't want to come off because it's caught on the bumper. It's whatever, I can still make all my adjustments, but right now I'm just shining the low beams on the door, and I marked it off with a piece of yellow tape so that way after the adjustments you can see how much it was raised. But this one isn't horrible. I'm gonna raise it up a little more. That one needs to come up quite a bit. So let me do that and I will be right back. This is post adjustment, and now you can see what a difference here, like how much we were able to raise it, and it's even with that side now, which this one only needed to go up just a little bit, but I think I'm gonna click on the high beams. Okay.
Try that.
Just leave that?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Okay, cool. So we got lights. It feels so good to have fixed everything that I wanted to on the Tempest. It's running so much better. No more like weird noises and just little imperfections. Very happy with the car. I just wanted to remind you guys that leading up to Christmas, we are giving away Gnarly Speed Shop stickers with any apparel purchase from our website, gnarlyspeedshop.com. We also have some very exciting news. Can't really disclose too much just yet, but you will see that in the next video. Pretty big announcement for the channel. But if you guys enjoyed this one and you want to see more of the Tempest, check out the videos here of it running its fastest ET ever at the drag strip, and also watch it blow up its engine on our road trip to Mammoth. And be sure to hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.